And this is the PodBrother, and you are on the PodBrother show. I'm Stephen Kimbrough. My guest today is the very talented, the very sexy, the very lovely, the beautiful Christina DeRosa. How are you, love?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here.
I'm excited because you have a special place in my heart because you did my very first live on stage podcast at the John Lovitz Podcast Theater a couple years ago, and your career has been like rapidly accelerating to the stratosphere. And I've been able to work out some technology to go live on YouTube. So we both went through a little bit of evolution, and I'm like, okay, when I get my shit together, I want to have Christina back on, and
Aw.
we can just talk about like what's going on in her life. Before I had a million people on stage, and I had a bass player in the back, and I had like, it was like 4 hours long. It was crazy, but it was cool. But now you're back. So, how are
I
you?
am happy to be back. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have quite a few things going on in your I last talked to you. I check in with you every once in a while. I follow you on social media and see what you're doing. And it's really exciting. It's really exciting to see the momentum that you have going and some of the credits you're accumulating. And, you're doing some producing, writing, directing. Are you getting in on like the back end side of things? Or are you just,
Yeah,
st-
this was the year that I decided to go at it at the producing end of things, and it's been really interesting to learn the producer mindset. I think I've always had a producer mindset, just someone who loves to connect the dots and link different people and be the liaison. I've had that producer hat in me since a little child, but now I'm finally getting to play in that, so it's been fun.
oh, that's great. Have you actually writing some scripts, or
No,
you're gonna put
writing is something that I stick to blogging, and I'm really good at emails. I'm like a fantastic email writer.
nice. But when it
I
comes,
sandwich those emails with like gratitude in the beginning, gratitude at the end. I put the piece of tofu in the middle and the bread on the beginning and end, and I just really do a great job at
wow,
emails.
this
That's
is a
my
healthy
writing
email
specialty.
sandwich.
Yeah, the email sandwich is
This is
fantastic.
the low cal email sandwich. Nice. Well, cool. That's cool. It's not like producing is a very easy thing to do. So, the fact that
Oh yeah, no,
are
producing's a lot, and
you're trying to
even just
crack
being a
that
full
off.
time actress, it's busy. I mean, there'll be days where you're driving from Santa Monica, to Hollywood, back to Sherman Oaks, and you got multiple opportunities, and you're in your car from one outfit to another, and I just don't even care. I'm driving in a bra just to get there in time, and racing in traffic, and memorizing lines, and it's a full time responsibility.
That's
So
where all that
that
road
keeps me
rage coming
plenty
from.
busy.
You out there driving in a bra, changing from gig to gig. No wonder there's so much road rage out
It's intense. Well, sometimes when you're rushing, you got three appointments all at the same time, and they only have a small window of time they can see you. You want to get in on that. So,
there. Absolutely. Well, good for you. Let's go. Let's rewind the tape way back. Let's go back to, I asked this question to Barry Katz. He's a manager of Louis C.K. And I said, when did you first, take me back to the beginning, and when you first started your career, when did you first recognize that you wanted to be an actor? And Barry Katz was like, well, Kimbrough, it started when I was a sperm in my dad's testicles. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, we don't want to go back that far. So take me back to the first time you recognized that you wanted to be an actress. Like, what was that moment? When was that?
yeah, I think ever since I was a little child, I was singing and dancing on stage as Munchkins in the with Natalie Portman. And I would even perform in front of my refrigerator. Anything that would give a reflection, I would perform in front of my refrigerator as a child. I would perform in front of the oven and the stove because you get the reflection on the oven and the stove in the kitchen. So, I mean, it was like anywhere that I can possibly put on a show, I was the child growing up that would go through mom's closet and put on her lipstick at like 6 years old and go through her purses and her jewelry and come out in this like ridiculous outfit with, completely too big on me and jewelry and makeup. And I was ready to put on a show, and I would invite all my little friends over and I would like cast them, and we'd all have like scenes and we'd all tell stories and this and who played that, and it was like a full production every time there was a sleepover at my house as a child. So I think it was just in my blood from an early age that game, Let's Play Pretend. I did it as a kid, and I'm still.
So you even started some producer skills back when you were a little tot. So and you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. You didn't
exactly.
Even... Oh, that's cute.
It's true.
So the first real structured production that was that grade school, junior high, high school, where, there actually was, some teachers and, a production, a school play. Like, when was that?
Definitely, like, school plays in elementary school. I was in all of them. And actually, one of my teachers, Mrs. Green, I think it was like second grade, actually a little, even though I was like all about performing and singing and dancing, I was shy when it came to reading in front of the class because I was a perfectionist and I was so afraid of making a mistake and not pronouncing something right or being able to read something correctly. So Mrs. Green, it was her, my parents, we've got to get that kid in theater so she gets out of this little like fear place of this perfectionist world she's living in. So it was thanks to a couple elementary school teachers that I got thrown into the plays. And then ever since I was on stage, it was like, here I come. Like, there was no fear at all.
That's awesome. And then one thing led to the next. The first time you were on TV, or, the first time you had either a commercial or a gig and you found yourself like actually on TV, what was that like? And how did you get that? How did you get that?
Yeah, I was back on the East Coast. I had a talent manager called Linda Townsend that got me this incredible industrial experience where it was an industrial, and we shot for about 9 months. And I was the leading girl. I think I was about like 9 or 10. And I was the leading girl in this like pick your own, choose your own adventure type of story that they would use in schools to show kids, what decision do you make? Do you go to that party? Do you do that test? Do you fall asleep that night? Or do you go out and skip school? So it was kind of like choose your own adventure. So you got to see me doing all the bad decisions and doing all the good decisions. So it was really, really, really fun to be able to watch myself after it was done, to be able to experience the whole process. It was kind of like, in addition to just working on acting in that role, I was learning about life, and I was actually learning about the good decisions you make and the bad decisions you make and the results of all those decisions. So it was actually a really perfect beginning project for a young teenager or young adolescent to work on. It was really a great experience, yeah.
It's good training in the beginning to get that kind of experience so that you have something to build on. You got like a reference, an index.
Yeah, no, it was really powerful. The director was really great to work with. I remember the only downfall, the only negative on that entire project was that the director smoked a lot. And even as a child, I was not a fan of smoking and wasn't used to being around smoke. So it's funny, I actually started to get like an allergy from all the smoke. Being in the car with him, being on sets with him, and having him constantly be smoking, I started to get like a little sty in my eye.
Ooh.
From all that smoke.
That's not good.
And it's just something that happened, and yeah, really odd.
So, what would you say, how old were you then, like at that time? Like what was your age, your actual age?
That was young. That was like right around 9 to 12 in that age range.
So what would you tell a 9 or 10-year-old based on your experience today and their parents, what they would need to have a little bit of an edge to kind of break into the business? Because I know
about the Murcury Insurance commercial as well. So for the audition, they always tell you in a commercial copy, usually, what your sides are, what you should wear. Everything is spelled out usually pretty easily. So it said wear business attire, and then it said, but think of Batwoman. So I, did some research on Batwoman, got some visuals on her as far as attitude goes. And then I get to the audition, I'm wearing my business attire. I think I had like black professional pants on and like a button-down shirt. And I get there and I notice all the other girls are wearing black spandex and black sexy voluptuous shirts showing their boobies. And oh my gosh, I asked the casting director right away. I said, did I get the wrong wardrobe here? Should I be wearing black spandex? And he's like, yeah, actually, if you could do that, that'd be better. So I ran home. Luckily, I didn't live too far from the casting. I ran home, changed, put on black boots and black spandex and a black sexy shirt, and I completely changed. And I got back, and he's like, oh, so much better. So that just, again, goes to prove a story of, like, all these little things that sometimes, if I was another actress that maybe didn't care as much, I'd say, like, I'm not really wearing the right outfit, but let's just do it anyway. I'm here, and I don't have time to go home and change. But no, it's like, go that extra mile. And it really makes the difference because it's a very visual business. It's a very visual market. And sometimes maybe they wouldn't have been able to see me as the character unless I had that sexy black outfit on.
Yeah. And plus, they see that you are kind of a team player and willing to go above and beyond. They know that when, they call for that on the set, you're going to come through with that. So, it's one of those situations where, sometimes it's like, are you willing to step up to the plate and do what it needs to do for the small stuff? And we know you're going to do that when we need you to do, a favor for the big stuff. So it's kind of an opportunity to showcase, your character, your work ethics, and, the fact that you are 100% into the project.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I have on deck your reel. So I want to play a little bit of that, and then we'll come back. And you won't be able to see it because we are doing FaceTime.
I hope you have the updated one because I keep updating them on YouTube. So
yeah,
the latest one would be.
I think I have the latest one. It says the Christina DeRosa Master Reel 2014. So I think that
even in 2014, I kept adding material.
Well, hopefully, because I grabbed the first one at the top, which I assume was the most updated one.
Yeah, if you grab the on YouTube, that should be what.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the one I have. So we will slide it in here and get that going. So give me one second here while I do that. After we talk about your reel a little bit, I really would like to talk about this award that you got. So we're going to go into that next. But right now, let me grab your reel. So hold tight.
Here we are, the master bedroom. Wow. Again, beautiful. And if you're home alone,
here all the doors lock. And the windows too.
the former owner was something of a electronics whiz. Besides the alarm system downstairs, he custom installed a state-of-the-art security system throughout the entire house. All the windows and doors can be locked just by pressing that little button. See? So you can relax in peace.
Addison, Logan is the chief meteorologist of this station.
Exactly. And people trust us.
Until the emergency weather service says otherwise, I won't authorize anything more than a watch.
Then at least let me break in.
Break in? In the middle of Viewpoint? It's our highest rated morning show.
Well, then we can roll it during a break, but you have to let me warn people.
Fine. Kim has a math test on Tuesday, and if she doesn't do well, she's going to have to take summer school.
I hate math.
Well, no need to worry. Sarah and I'll help you study your math while your mom's on her cruise.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you, girls.
Nice.
Okay, Kim. I'll be back in a week. You be a good girl and do whatever Sam and Kat say.
Don't you fucking move.
What do you want to know, Thingamajiggy?
Did you kill Dana Boy? Found in Susan's trunk.
What? No foreplay?
We have DNA records that
Can you try to watch? Because someone just said they're trying to watch and it keeps coming in and out.
of a 9-year-old boy who
I'm going to cut bandwidth if I'm going to watch.
a 9-year-old.
Is it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Send me the link. Send me the link. You can't.
What are you gonna do?
Don't respond.
Tell me, Daddy, what am I supposed to do?
Oh my God, Tristan.
And Laura.
I'm Detective Sullivan, NYPD. We need to talk.
I'll get the car.
May I come in?
Of course.
Moving will blow your head off.
I've talked to the social workers, and they say you can all come live with me if you want to.
You'll like it there.
Listen, thanks for all your help.
Oh, why don't you buy me a drink instead? I'm off of work in an hour.
I appreciate that, but I am seeing someone.
She doesn't have to know.
Girl on girl pays $50. I get double for backdoor f***s. How I got I'll never know. Beats Mexico and that donkey show.
Nice. Very good. Very, very funny stuff. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you, it looks like you did a little bit of everything. You got some TV in there, some theater.
Yeah, try to stay diverse in my range.
The one at the end where you're singing, and you have a very, very nice voice, by the way. I didn't know you actually.
Oh, thanks.
I thought you were just on the acting tip, but you can sing too.
Yeah. I grew up singing before I was acting.
So was that a like in the end, was that a theater piece or a music video, or what was that?
No, that's actually a Weinstein movie called Extreme Movie with Michael Cera and a slew of other amazing talents. And that was like the one singing musical number in this comedy feature film. And luckily I got to sing in there, so it was a lot of fun.
Wow, it was really, really good. Good stuff.
Thanks.
So you got this award. So let's talk about that a little bit. You know, it's not easy that you get recognized for your talent and stuff that you do. So it's the same image that we kind of use for the Facebook thumbnail. So I'm going to pull that up so the folks can see it. So tell me a little bit about like that.
Oh, it's such an honor. Yeah, this was the Rising Star Award that I won at the Fame Awards and the LA Music Awards on November 12th, 2014. And during my speech, I shared with everyone that in extreme lows, there are days when you're on set and it feels like an all-expense paid vacation. And then there are days when you don't get that part, or you don't even get the opportunity to audition for that part, and you want to cry in your pillow. And then there are days when you win an award. And days like that, where there's red carpet photographers taking your picture, and your parents fly in from the East Coast, and you have your biggest champions, your biggest cheerleaders are at the table with you, supporting you. And it definitely extreme honor to be awarded and to be acknowledged. It's interesting to me how so many people that I didn't even know were fans of mine or supporters of mine mentioned on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, "Oh, I've been following your career for so long, and I'm so grateful and I'm so happy for you." It was really beautiful to experience that.
Yeah, that had to be very, very exciting. And your parents were there too. So they, from those days of you singing in the oven door to now, they gotta be super proud. Last, I have to tell you.
Aw, thank you.
I've been to hundreds of birthday parties, and like some of them are duds and some of them are great, but your birthday party was spot dead on fun. It was awesome. There's a lot of great people there.
Thank you so much.
Great entertainment, fun. Everybody was like dressed up and sexy and beautiful, and I really had a good time. So thanks for the invitation.
Aw, thank you.
Thank
you for being there. It was important to have you. Thank you.
I ask all my guests that come on because I interviewed Julie Pfeiffer. She did a documentary film on the Burning Man and the meaning of life. So I've been asking my guests, what is the meaning of life for them? So I'm gonna put that question on the floor for you, Christina. What is the meaning of life for Christina DeRosa?
I'm going to go with my the first thing that comes to mind, which is the meaning of life is to love, to be loved and to feel love and to share love and be an example of love. I think without it, nothing really else matters. Nothing really else is as important.
That's very well put and very simple. I like that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, when it's all said and done, I'm gonna put a compilation video together of everybody's answer of what their meaning of, because she had a sound booth, like a little video meaning of life booth, and people would just go in there and they would say what's the meaning of life, and it was a very fascinating film. I like docs. I'm working on a couple docs, and I'm writing 2 comedy action films, which, by the way, I would love to have you perform in my my comedy action film, because
Thank you.
I kind of write my characters into people who kind of inspire me with some ideas, and since I know you and have seen your work, I kind of know, where I want, what part I want you to audition for. So when I get it done and I get it financed and I get it to that point, I'm going to call your agent, your manager, and see if you for a couple of roles I have in mind. But they're very, 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 very funny concepts. And
thank you.
It takes time to write and put that stuff together, but that's okay. I have time and I'm patient. All right, baby. Well, we're gonna keep this bad boy going. I know you have stuff to do and get ready for the holidays. Is there anything that you want
holidays.
to, in closing? Is there a nugget of truth or wisdom or passion you wanna tell us before we sign off?
Absolutely. I'd say that life is enjoyed. One of my favorite expressions is life is uncertain, eat dessert first. So no matter what's going on in your life, just know that you're not alone. The more personal, the more universal, and someone in this world loves you, and I love you. Mwah.
Well, awesome. I love you too. And a call to action to find